5 years ago this week, I started dipping my toe into content creation for the first time. Like, seriously. There was a couple of years where I tried really hard to be a YouTuber, probably 2013, 2014. And if you deep dive on my YouTube, you'll find them. But I knew that that wasn't going to result in a lifestyle change of being able to quit my jobs or do entirely music as a living. 5 years ago, exactly this week, I started my Patreon. And my life looked so different than it did. I was a totally different person, totally different circumstances. And it was just an absolute wild time. So I took the time to go back and look through my photos and take a deep dive on what my life was like, because a lot of you here are newer to my life, and I want to share what exactly this all started as. And so the month I started my Patreon, it was December 2nd in 2018, and we were planning a trip to New Orleans, and Trish and I went down there for a week. It was amazing. One of the worst parts of that particular time was that we lost one of our cats, Burton Guster. So that was terrible. We were actually gone on vacation when that happened. So sadly, that's one of the worst things to happen of the year. But the rest was absolutely wild. We toured with my band 3 times, I think. So many gigs. When I say so many gigs, so many gigs. And Trish and I went and saw Tenacious D. We went and saw Pink. We went and saw The Distillers. We saw Chicago and Rent. We saw Robin. So many concerts. I watched my niece and nephew weekly. They were a huge part of my life. I did so much vocal coaching at the studio, and I picked up so much studio work that I did not have any time to think. I hosted karaoke 3 nights a week. Like, who even was this person? I took the best photo of our cat, Sean, that I will ever take. Just take it in. It's beautiful. I did social media and website management for a little bit, but I absolutely hated it. As somebody who already has to do so much social media for a band, it was just too much. And I ended up really, really hating it and not really hanging on to that for very long. And last but not least, at the end of 2019, I had already been planning to retire from the wedding industry. I had 10 gigs that I was contractually needing to take care of in 2020, and then we all know what happened there. And so I retired from a 10-year career in the wedding industry as an MC, as a vocalist, as a vocal arranger. And I ran weddings for almost 10 years of my life, which is wild. And then the very last thing to happen before the pandemic was that me and my saster, Tay, took a vacation to Florida. And that was one of the last big things. Trish and I went to Astronomicon, which was so much fun. And so those were the last handful of things before more gigs. And that final gig that we did play, we actually started our Twitch at that point. And that was the turning point for me when I realized, like, oh my God, I had started building my Patreon about a year prior. So, December 2018, about a year prior to the lockdown, year and 4 months. And so if I had not started my Patreon, I wouldn't have had a foundation to begin Twitch on. And so really, I just wanted to make this video to kind of take a look back and reintroduce myself to a lot of you, because a lot of you only know me from the last 2-3 years, but the last 5 years have been hugely transformative. And I just want to say thank you, because if you have supported us from either 1 month of your life back then, or if you're still supporting us now, I seriously cannot say thank you enough. It has been a wild ride, and y'all have helped me find honesty in myself. I am not the same person that I was 5 years ago, and I have this community that we started building in Patreon 5 years ago that then translated over to Twitch to today, that I have y'all to thank. So thank you so much for the last 5 years. It truly has been not what I expected it to be at all, but I am so grateful for what it is. So thank you.